Today I want to have a look at an application that would be very difficult with traditional machine vision, and that is detecting wrinkles and bubbles and other unsightly defects that could get trapped underneath or running through a label. So if you've got clients or potentially your customer is very critical about the presentation of their label, this is a great tool for you, and it would be really challenging using standard machine vision because we cannot define rules. We can't use a rules-based system for how large a wrinkle must be, especially since there are implications for running through the graphics. So what a wrinkle or bubble looks like each and every time is going to change. So for that reason, we're having a look at the Deep Learning Classify tool available on the brand new Cognex 2800 camera. So I've got a film strip here, and there are a series of good images, and you'll see each time I've presented the image, the object moves a little bit, and not only are we looking at this section of the container, but it's a wraparound label. We're going to look at the graphic on the other side so that if a wrinkle appears on either of those orientations, we want to be able to know. So basically, left edge and right edge of that label, looking for unsightly defects. Now you'll notice that I have trained 10 images representing all of my conditions for flat label, no defect. So all of these are reporting good, and my classified banner at the top reports the current condition. The frame around is going to tell us an indication of it'll be green if this is a flat label, and it'll be a different color if we see a wrinkle bubble. So as I get to the end of my good images, and now present my test image, first test image, you'll see that we get a clash. And the reason for that is the confidence is extremely low. So there's a green meter here. And if I go back to my previous image, confidence is extremely high. And on this image, confidence is extremely low. But you'll notice it is trying to define this as a flat label, no defect. And that is because we haven't given it any information, no database about the other possible condition. So to train this, all I need to do is apply a label to this image, and we're applying the label, and we'll get one in the database, and you can see it's correctly identifying as a wrinkle bubble defect, and the frame around it goes red to indicate that this is a different condition from the previous. In this case, we don't want this condition. We'd likely want to fail this one, so I've given it a red color. Carry on to the next test image, and the assumption is that this is another example of a flat label, no defect. Let's give this the appropriate label. Now we've got two images, and it's reporting correctly. On to the third image, and again, we need to coach the tool to say that these are examples of wrinkles or bubbles, regardless of each of them looking differently. Now when I get to my next image, take a look. We get the clash again, but the initial assumption of the tool is that this is a likely candidate for a wrinkle bubble defect, and that's because we've got 3 in the database that look similar. So I'm not going to apply a label to this yet, or to the next image. Let's skip ahead and look at the other side of the canister, where we've got the completely different graphic. We've got a wrinkle running through it, and I just want to tell it, in fact, this is a wrinkle bubble as well. So watch what happens here. Without training any more images, you see I've only got 4 images in that database for the classification of wrinkle bubble. If I carry on and pull up the remainder of the images, it is already confidently considering these as wrinkle bubbles. And even if I go back to test image 5, which we didn't look at before, it's confident that's a wrinkle bubble. And then this test 4, which was previously low confidence, now has a high confidence because we've got enough images in the database of what different wrinkle and bubble conditions look like and what different good label conditions look like. Now we've got a very strong tool to confidently gauge new incoming parts. Let's just hit run on our film strip and see the combined results. The goods report good, flat, and all the wrinkle bubbles report correct wrinkle bubble.